Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1999 cult classic film American Pie, Universal's original film American Pie. This has spurred 8 total sequels. There's more on the way. It has spanned 3 generations, mathematically. We're going to talk about some stuff. This film is incredible for various reasons. 7/8 of this film still withhold the test of time. 1/8 of this film we can't. That's not a thing anymore. We don't. No, should have never been a thing, and Netflix not a thing anymore. Cast: Jason Biggs, Jennifer Coolidge, Shannon Elizabeth, Allison Hannigan, excuse me, Chris Klein, Clyde Costoso, Eugene Levy, Natasha Lyonne, Thomas Ian Nicholas, Chris Owen, John Cho is in this as a MILF guy, and choir kid, something like that. Like, so many people are in this film, and this is the first. Sean William Scott is not even listed in like the main chunk of people. He plays Steve Stifler, the iconic Steve Stifler, and all subsequent films, the spin-off films, anything of the American Pie Presents brand, have a relation to Stifler, whether they're his cousin or distant cousin, something like that, right? So this film is very basic. You have 4 high school friends. They make a pact to lose their virginity by prom night, something like that. So it's a matter of wooing or not wooing, or figuring out what somebody likes, figuring out who someone wants to be, who someone is. A lot of it is self-exploration, and it's a sexploration comedy. It's a sex comedy for teens. So it came out in 99. It was targeted for the teens and 20-year-olds of that time period, which are now labeled as Gen X. Subsequent films, that American Pie Presents films, were targeted for the teens and 20-year-olds of that generation. In the aughts, that was my gen. That's the millennials. And then now we have just a relaunch of American Pie Presents Girls Rules, which we talked about, that has Darren Burnett and Zachary Gordon in that. That came out in 2020 on Netflix. So that's now for the Gen Z generation. Even though technically Zach and Darren are both millennials, but the film is targeted for high schoolers, and so teens and 20-year-olds of the Gen Z. So it's Gen X, millennials, which is Gen Y, and Gen Z, X, Y, and Z. It's not many franchises can withstand the test of time. Not many franchises can be relevant to all different generations. Very cool, especially because certain tech is utilized in this. Now, the scenes I'm referencing that you don't do this anymore. There was a video chat scene of Jim, played by Jason Briggs. He sets up this camera in his room on his computer to videotape Shannon's character of Nadia changing out of her clothes, and then she's doing some stuff, and then he comes in not knowing that he's broadcasting to the entire school via an email link versus just his friend group, which he shouldn't have done anyway, because it's about consent, right? We're all about consent. So it doesn't withstand. You don't do that. And then Nadia's character actually moves back to her home country because her host parents found out and sent her back home. But I liked the recap at the end of the two of them having a video call, and then he is doing a striptease for her. I thought that was a sweet ending. Bring it back. But again, that's a thing that you don't do that anymore. That should have never been done. It's not a thing. Aside from that, the characters are just so iconic. Sean William Scott playing Steve Stifler, and Finch sleeping with Stifler's mom, played by Jennifer Coolidge. It's just so iconic that it's always referenced. There's always specific quotes. Like this one time at band camp, Michelle Hannigan's character, not Michelle Hannigan, Allison Hannigan's character, Michelle, says this one time at band camp, and then constantly has a story. And then the 4th film is called American Pie Presents Band Camp. East Great Falls is the name of the high school, Michigan. It's just a lot of stuff is very staple to that area, staple to the culture of that time. Lacrosse is very, very massive at that time as opposed to football. Certain regions of America has lacrosse as the main sport versus football as the main sport. Some regions have hockey as the main sport. It's cultural. It's different parts of the country. Different parts have different things, and it's neat exploring that particular aspect of that particular culture. The comedy of it is hysterical. The one-liners are hysterical. It's about self-discovery, and it's about being sex positive with yourself. What do you like? What don't you like? What are your attractions? What are your disattractions? So it's very neat having the exploration starting in 1999 for this particular group of teens and 20-year-olds it was targeted for, and then it's withstood. It's just so cool saying that. It's so cool seeing the evolution. Eugene Levy's character of Noah, who is Jason Briggs's dad in the movie. He's been in 8 out of the 9 movies. He's the only one to have gone through all of the spin-offs and stuff, like circling it back and things like that. This is the movie that's introduced the Book of Love. Kevin's older brother explains where the Book of Love is in the library to get references to that, stuff like that. That's its own spin-off film. American Pie presents the Book of Love. We're going to go through everything chronologically, but this was 1999, American Pie, a wonderful, wonderful first addition to the American Pie franchise. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.